Now on BBC World News, the biggest African and international news stories. Focus on Africa.
Hello and welcome to Focus on Africa. I am Peter Okwoche. Our top stories. Protesters on the streets of Khartoum following a military coup in Sudan leave at least 2 people dead. Military leader General Abdel Fattah Burhan blames infighting within the transitional government, but protesters are adamant where the country's future lies.
We reject it completely. We have to go back to the constitutional document. The government should be handed to civilians.
We'll also be hearing from a journalist and a former BBC colleague who has only just returned from Sudan. Somalia's semi-autonomous Puntland state holds its first municipal election for decades. For many, it's the first time ever they've taken part in a one-person, one-vote election. Uganda reels from a blast on a bus near the capital Kampala following a similar explosion at a bar on Saturday night. We'll bring you the latest. Also on the programme, all the sports with Mimi. We hear from football fans in Egypt as Mohamed Salah becomes the highest scoring African in the Premier League. Thanks for joining us here on Focus on Africa from BBC World News. Demonstrators have taken to the streets of Khartoum to protest against a military coup that has toppled Sudan's transitional government, also known as the Sovereign Council, as well as the arrest of several cabinet members. Earlier, General Abdel Fattah Burhan, who had been heading the council, made up of civilian and military members, announced the dissolution of civilian rule, blaming political infighting. Well, it's no secret that these different factions have been at odds since long-time ruler Omar al-Bashir was overthrown 2 years ago and the transitional government set up. There's been plenty of international condemnation following the coup. A statement from the African Union says calls for the immediate resumption of consultations between civilians and military with the framework of political declaration and constitutional decree. A UN envoy to the country said the detentions were unacceptable and called on all parties to immediately return to dialogue. The United States says it is deeply alarmed with the U.S. Special Envoy for Africa saying a coup would contravene the democratic aspirations of the Sudanese people. The BBC's Anne Soy has more.